Committee meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Chair Evans.
Here.
Member Chaplin.
Here.
Member Childress. Member Dessart. Member Eckhoff. Member Guston.
Here.
Member Krajewski. Member Ozog. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori.
Sure.
Member Yu. Member Zay.
Okay, we got a quorum. Do we have any public comments?
No public comment today.
No public comments. Chair remarks. I would like to I don't have any remarks. I hope everybody had a great weekend and I hope I can get out in time for my environmental committee meeting. Okay, so moving on to number 5, approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve item 23-6-1-3165 Judicial and Public Safety Committee meetings from Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to item 6, procurement requisitions. Can I get a motion to approve? Oh, yeah. Can I get a motion to approve P006523 recommendation for the approval of a contract to Axon Enterprise Inc. for the purchase of the Officer Safety Plan 10 premium to allow for upgraded taser devices for the Sheriff's Office for a contract total amount not to exceed $3,400,000. And I believe Deputy Chief Billadu is online. If anybody has any questions, is there any discussion on this item? Okay. We'll see. I'll ask. Okay. Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, wonderful. Okay, moving on to JPSP 006623, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Axon Enterprise Inc. for the purchase of the Fleet 3 system to provide updated technology in all patrol and prisoner transport vehicles for the Sheriff's Office for a contract total amount not to exceed $1,515,000. Any discussion on this one? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to resolutions, can I get a motion to approve FIR 00022723 additional appropriation for the Public Defender's Office in the amount of $33,000. Any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on, can I get a motion to approve FIR 22823 recommendation for approval to change the annual compensation for the members of the Sheriff's Merit Commission? Okay, any discussion on this? Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's really not about the annual compensation portion, but I would like to bring up to this committee the Merit Commission's requirement for our to hire our sheriff's deputies to have that education requirement. And I believe, you know, we've had this talk, but it's been quite a while. Most departments, most police departments these days do not have that education requirement. I know the Merit Commission cut it in half a year or so ago, but I know others have spoken to the sheriff. I've spoken to the sheriff, and it's keeping qualified candidates from getting hired here. And we know the shortage of applicants and so forth. And now legally, I don't think we can do anything legally, but we can certainly offer a strong recommendation to the Merit Commission that they do away with this requirement. And I don't know, get some feedback from other members here.
Okay, Member Krajewski.
I know I've spoken to this before, and I know the sheriff requested the Merit Commission back, I think maybe in May, maybe even earlier, to reduce it, and they only went from 60 hours to 30 hours. Yet you start looking at all the municipalities. Westmont just recently dropped it, Bloomingdale, Pavey, Glen Ellen. I mean, they're all have eliminated that. Just gets the pool of candidates bigger. You still have to pass background checks, polygraph. You have interviews in front of the commission. I mean, there's still other ways that if people aren't qualified to get out, but it just opens up the pool. And you know, we continually hear the sheriff can't hire people, or get laterals coming in, but yet all the other municipalities in DuPage seem to be doing it. And so I think they have been slow to react to that. Again, we appoint these members. We've spoke about it before, but yet, I don't know, they decided to go only halfway. I don't know why, but we even have people that are here at the county working in various civilian capacities that are interviewing and getting jobs in other police departments because they don't meet our requirement. And Chief Thorpe, who used to be in front of us a lot before he retired, never had the education. So, and he made it to number 2 up there. So again, I agree with Member Schwarzy, and but, you know, I know they're here asking us for.
Thank you, Member Krajewski. Member Zay?
So we're kind of like hanging us over their head, like we're not going to improve their compensation if they don't change the structure. Maybe not a great time to talk about it. Maybe something.
That wasn't my
for
intention,
a
of course.
future meeting,
But-
but it just seems kind of a weird time to bring it up. And I know we've talked about it a lot, but
Well, I brought it up and they're in front of us again, and I know the sheriff has also been working with the state's attorney about expanding that board to 5. And, you know, there's a lot of power condensed in 3 people, but to get 5 more, 2 more people on there, I would think we'd look at that also to get, you know, more people to give input versus 3 people.
Okay, Member Schwarzy?
So, you know, nothing's gonna change my vote. I'm gonna vote yes for this resolution. However, I would be curious if this board would be in consensus to send a letter offering our recommendation.
Okay, would that be under like new business or something?
If there's a consensus here, I guess we can consider that direct, but the catch being is because we're at Judicial and Public Safety, it would be a comment or recommendation from the Judicial and Public Safety Committee, not from the board itself. So, Madam Chair, it's at your discretion.
I mean, I think it's a really good discussion because, you know, I think the danger is, you know, we don't want to hire an 18-year-old straight out of high school to be a sheriff's deputy. However, think about the 27-year-old woman who went straight from high school, went all the way, you know, worked her way up to a job, and maybe she wants to be a sheriff's deputy and she doesn't have the college education, but she is highly qualified. So I do think that this would really open up the pool. So Member Schwarzy?
I believe 21 is the age limit.
The what?
I believe 21 years
Oh,
old. is the
21.
age.
Okay, well, still, you know, yeah, actually, that's a good age, but I think we just want to make sure that we have experienced people. So Member Krajewski?
Yeah, while we're looking at, can we look into, I mean, what mechanisms are required for us to expand to 5? Because I know the sheriff has already been working, I know, with the state's attorney on
I
that.
can tell you that is currently being looked at and worked out.
Yeah, well, is that something that we have the
I
authority to
believe
do
it's-
too? So
yes,
we
yes.
aren't working on it. They may be working on it, but if we have the authority, then maybe we should be working on it also to expand that board to 5. And
I believe, if I remember my initial review and talking with there's a resolution that'll have to go through, but we're looking at that, yes. I believe that's the goal, is what I understood.
Member Tornatori?
I think these are all great ideas. I think it's inappropriate or now is not the time to be discussing it. We have a resolution in front of us. If we're going to talk about reducing the educational time or increasing the merit commission, let's put it on the agenda. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion and not try to dovetail it into this. I don't think those are bad ideas at all. I just don't know that I need more information before I'm ready to accept a greater pool just for the sake of accepting a greater pool. I want to make sure that the candidates are qualified too.
Okay, Member Ackoff and then Member Krajewski.
If we're gonna have that discussion, let's make sure the merit commission is there.
Oh, yes, yes. And I think they are on the line, so they're listening.
We actually have one of the merit commission members are here, as well as the. I'm sorry, Tony might be online. I'm sorry, I didn't look to see. Oh, he is. Oh, hi, Tony. I'm sorry, I didn't look over.
I don't. Yeah.
Really moving far afield. But
Yeah,
this isn't a discussion about whether we should increase the merit commission or decrease educational requirements. It's about an additional appropriation, period.
yeah, let's move this. Let's
I'm
put this
okay,
on.
Madam Chair, how about we put on next agenda this discussion of
Let's
these two
discuss it,
items?
but let's discuss it in an appropriate
Right.
manner.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead and vote on this. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. It is a good discussion though, so we'll put it on a future agenda. Okay, moving on to budget transfers. Can I get a motion to approve item 233166? Transfer of funds from regular salaries
Second.
to interpreter services and jurors witness fees in the amount of $39,000 to pay for anticipated translation transcription costs for a case going to trial. Also needed to pay for anticipated witness costs for 2 cases going to trial in fiscal year 23 that involve out-of-state witnesses. Any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to item 23, can I get a motion to approve item 233167? Transfer of funds from contingencies to regular salaries in the amount of $40,000 needed
Second.
for unfilled public defender positions due to the Safety Act, which were budgeted for in contingencies. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to item 8C, can I get a motion to approve item 233168? Transfer of funds from employer share IMRF to flexible benefit earnings in the amount of $250
So moved.
needed to cover fiscal year 23 shortage for an employee that receives a flex benefit in lieu of taking health insurance coverage. Any discussion on this? Member Krajewski.
Is there any way we could put a threshold in to give Jeff the authority, maybe anything under $251, he can just approve those transfers without putting this in front of us?
That's unfortunate.
So even 30 cents, you can have this in front of us. Huh? Okay, the
Budget
discussion from the
discussion on
attorney, from the attorney general.
yes.
All right,
It hits personnel. It's got to go in front of you.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to action items. Can I get a motion to approve item 233169? Thomson Reuters purchase order.
So
The
moved.
purchase order is decreasing in the amount of $12,207.20. Okay, any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve item 233170? Insight Public Sector. This purchase order is decreasing in the amount of $11,912
So moved.
and closing due to lower pricing after the original bid. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve item 233171? HOV for services contract expiration has been
So moved.
extended from August 22nd, 2023 to November 30th, 2024 due to vendor and circuit court clerk manpower limitations. There's no change in the contract total amount. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve 233172? Logicalis
moved.
contract expiration date has been extended from January 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2024 due to services starting 2 months after the purchase order start date. There's no change in contract total amount. And okay, member you.
Can you just remind me what Logicalis does for us or what the vendor does?
Believe the circuit court clerk's on the call. I'm gonna defer to them. If not, I'll find out.
Yeah, it sounds to me like there may be a consultant that helps to implement the.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me? This is Kevin Vasky from the clerk's office.
Good morning. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, Logicalis, in this instance, that provides managed services. So they're keeping an eye on our IT infrastructure, both here in the courthouse, mainly for our AS400, which is our big server for our case management system, as well as our DR environment, which they host in Phoenix.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we usually need outside services to help us manage these different softwares. Let's see. Okay, so all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Okay, moving on to informational. Can I get a motion to place on file item
Second.
233173, Public Defender's Office monthly statistical reports for July and August 2023? Any discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Any old business? Okay, member Krajewski.
real
and then
quick, and just
member-
to go back to the 9C one, I didn't get a chance to ask it, but you know, I raised this issue a lot over the years and it's been getting very good now that we don't get contracts that come in front of us after they already started, but that one that started August 22nd of 2023. Again, we're in October approving something that goes back. It's been very good the last 6-8 months, but we would have this constantly. So again, not sure what happened, but we're approving something that's already, I guess, in place, maybe, I don't know. So maybe I can get an answer from them what happened, not
Okay.
now.
Yes, I can speak to that, Member Krajewski. So this was actually an ARPA contract to scan a large number of old case files into our case management system. And we just weren't able to finish it all. So, the contract amount is still the same. The work effort is the same. It's just taking a little longer. So we had to extend the end date.
Well, does that mean that we started doing the work already, but this board hasn't approved it?
No, this is a change order to an existing PO.
Okay, just it says it extends it from August 22nd. So I'm guessing that was when it was supposed to expire.
Yes, it is. It did expire on the 22nd. That was the end date. That's correct. We just didn't get it in beforehand. And I understand your point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we've extended the contract, and are you still scanning?
So we haven't done any work on it in a number of months, and we're going to restart that effort to finish up, what we had originally wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, I always say is, we're approving something after the fact, and we should be approving it before the fact. I mean, clearly, if you knew you weren't going to have the capacity to finish, you should be in front of us in June, July, asking to extend the contract versus in October after it expired. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Krajewski and Member Chaplin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I know that myself and Member Dessart especially, we've been asking about information about the deaths in the jail. So doing a little research, the Safety Act mandates the collection of reporting of the data related to deaths in custody. And under the Act, the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority is tasked with gathering comprehensive data from law enforcement agencies and correctional facilities. The sheriff is to report every quarter on deaths in the jail. And then this ICJA is obligated to regularly update their website with the data collected. So every quarter, our sheriff's department or the jail sends this report to the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority. So I think it would be great if the board, when they send that report, if they could send a copy of that to either the JPS committee or the board, just like we get the statistics for the public defender, we get statistics for the other departments, but the information that's reported is the manner of death, the type of agency, county of agency, age of death, gender of deceased, and race of deceased. So it does at least, there's a place where board members can find that information if they want to look it up, because I know we've all been asking about it, so you can go right to their website. But I think since they're putting that report together, that would be nice if we could also receive a copy of what they send. Just in a packet or, send it to the board members every quarter when they send it out. Just something to consider.
Okay.
Thank you.
Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just don't like the tone of this, like the sheriff's trying to hide something. There is a investigation that goes into this, a coroner's report, also possible litigation that the county would be open to. So continue to discuss it in open session, I think is not good for the county of DuPage. I think the sheriff's doing everything that he can on these instances. We don't know the details. I did talk to the sheriff about it. We don't know the details. So again, if we really want a discussion, I guess we could ask the sheriff to come and do it in an executive session and do it that way instead of speculating here in public session that something's wrong or he's not giving us the information we need. Again, tragic as it is, there are instances where things have happened and it's not possibly the fault of the sheriff's office. It could be past illness, whatever, it could be anything. So again, I think the place to have the discussion is an executive session where we can get information and maybe this will put this to rest at that point.
Okay. Member Chaplin.
Thanks. And members, I totally agree with you. A lot of these could be natural causes, but what I'm saying is that the information is made publicly available. It's right here on this website. I have it. And you're right, a lot of these deaths are under investigation. We're not asking for anything that is not available to the public. But I think if they're sending it by law, they have to, by this Safety Act, just provide it to us so that we can also be well informed, or we can just continue to go look on the website. But I just thought since they're already filling it out, it would be something easy for them to do. But I totally agree. Not every, there's natural causes and things like that as well. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, and if it's public information, maybe we can just have an email sent out with a link for where we can find it, I don't know that I don't know that I want it on the agenda every. Okay. Any other old business? Any new business? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.